Dun dun dun! Special edition report, New Orleans Saints. Big Tuesday, Mike. On Monday, Dennis Allen was fired. Tuesday, the Saints start their rebuild, and it's making Michael Foret a very happy man. He's got his Saints hat back on for
I'm
this
back.
rebuild.
I'm back.
Marshon, Marshon traded for a third, a fourth, a sixth, and the Saints gave back a fifth. Uh, let's start with Da. Initial thoughts, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about doing a pod yesterday, and I was like, wait a second, let's just wait till trade deadline. So I'm glad we waited because a little bit more news. But yeah, I figured to do a New Orleans Saints pod today. Yeah, Da. I mean, he's a tank commander. What else is there to say? He's just not a very good head coach. He's a really good defensive coordinator. I think most Saints fans would agree with that. He's had a successful run with the Saints, I would say as a whole, but not as a head coach. Um, you know, yeah, it had to be done. The way they lost that game to the Panthers was embarrassing. There's really no other way to put it. Everyone was calling for his head, and you see some player reaction. I know Carl Granderson took to social media saying, like showing his excitement he was gone. So something had to be changed. You can't really have this kind of standard. Um, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to tank for the Saints and you want to tank like most fans do, I feel like at this point you just lost the tank commander. But I do love Rizzy. I do love his attitude. I mean, he kind of sounded a little Dan
High
Campbell-ish.
energy, man.
Yeah, great energy. When I was listening to his speech in the media earlier, I was getting fired up. So he gives me kind of Dan Campbell vibes. I know when Da scored that touchdown and Arthur Smith went after him, went after Da, Rizzy was trying to get after Arthur Smith as well. So yeah, Rizzy seems like a Dan Campbell like motivation type. Is he gonna stay there in the long term? I'm not sure, but yeah, those are my first thoughts. What about you?
Real quick, Mickey Loomis and the firing of Dennis Allen just now on WWL. I think Dennis Allen is a fantastic football coach, and I think anybody in our league who talks about him thinks he's a fantastic football coach. He is in this case. Look at the circumstances, created the record. That's just the truth. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
you know, Mickey Loomis is just sticking up for him. I mean, Mickey Loomis kind of has to save face a little bit because he's the guy who hired him.
And
He's the
chewed gum to defend
yeah,
him.
that was the thing that I think really set people off. But yeah, at the end of the day, he was the one who hired him. He was the decision to keep him as a head coach, and he's just trying to save face a little bit. I'm not surprised by that, but yeah, Dennis Allen, unfortunately, not a good head coach, and then he got coupled with the injuries as well. So the injuries were as bad as I've ever seen. Not an excuse, but um, yeah, it is something to lose most of your players. I will say that.
All right, hold on, Mike. Give me 3 seconds. So, as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen was 18 and 25. He was 7 games under the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. As the Raiders, he was 8 and 28. So he improved as a head coach with the Saints, but he also, as an NFL head coach, 26 and 53. Mike, that is the lowest win percentage as a head coach in the NFL in the last 30 years. Okay. He's been fired. He's made it to his third season twice now as a head coach, but he's been fired both times in the middle of the season. In Oakland, he was the head coach for 4 games, and before he was fired, he was 0-4 that season. In New Orleans, he was the head coach for 9 games in his third season, and he was 2-7 as a head coach. He also was fired both seasons while starting Derek Carr as a quarterback. Um, I mean, it's what it was really expected this season. I didn't think they would fire him in season. I thought he would be fired at the end of the year. Thankful for the Carolina Panthers for putting us out of our misery with Da, but I mean, the rebuilding process needs to happen. They're projected $61 million over the cap next year. You got to start getting rid of that somehow, and not. You need to start thinking about the future, right? This is a franchise that's a long ways away from winning. In the last 3 years, they've only pushed that back further. So I want to see what Rizzy does, but am I hopeful that anything would change? No. I'm actually like if I, I'm not taking this job if I'm Ben Johnson or Joe Brady or any other big candidate. Why? Because this team is not in a place to win football games. People can fight me all day about talent of this football team, Mike. You got a 35-year-old Cam Jordan. He's an artifact out there. Cam's a Hall of Famer, but he's not nowhere near Cam. Demario Davis is 35 years old. Tyrann Mathieu, 33 years old. This roster is aging. Alvin Kamara is old. You just traded Marshon Lattimore. Your offensive line's got question marks. Derek Carr's always hurt. So tell me, this team's a long ways away from being good.
Yeah, backpedal a little bit. Yeah, I thought the same thing too. I thought they were going to stick with them throughout the year, no matter what, even if it meant losing the rest of the games. But I guess the manner they went with losing to the Panthers is that bad, and I agree. It just hit a boiling point and it happened. Yeah, kind of just going back to who's the next guy. I mean, there really is no obvious answer. I mean, there's obviously names floated out there, like you said, Ben Johnson, Flores from the Vikings. I mean, there's all kind of different guys. Belichick's
But
always looming. Vrabel would be not my number one choice, but yeah, whoever gets this job is going to be cautioned with patience. So there you have to give the next coach patience. You're saying over 60 something million over the cap next year. Like if you cut Derek Carr's like 51 or I think it's like 51 million in dead cap money. So there's really nothing, I said it last year. It's gonna be a 4 to 5 year rebuild unless they just nail another draft like 2017 and just kind of, boot it up faster. So yeah, I think Saints fans better buckle up. But yeah, the next coach is paramount to the future success of this team. Who's your number one guy if you had to pick one? You had to pick of any litter, like what would it be?
Ben Johnson, but I don't think Ben Johnson's going to take the job. Ben Johnson's a offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He's been sought after for 2 years now. Um, I just like the way he calls plays. I want a play calling head coach again, like Sean Payton. Uh, I don't want Aaron Glenn. I don't want anybody with ties to the Saints. I don't want Zach Strief. I don't want Aaron Glenn.
Zach Streif's the name they're popping out there.
Dude, somebody propped it up there. I was like, no.
Zach Streif. Well, yeah, that's odd to say the least. Oh yeah, Ben Johnson. Be obviously he's gonna pick whoever he wants. I mean, this is the second year. Last year they tried to poach him, he wouldn't go. So I think for him to leave Detroit, it's obviously going to go by how Detroit season goes, obviously, but I think he's only going to leave. It's like a perfect situation for him, it seems like, and I think the Saints are far from that. But who knows? You never know. Yeah, but I like Vrabel just because he's like a tone setter. Like he's going to change the locker
I
room.
like
Like
Vrabel.
yeah, he's not going to put up with any BS. I mean, look what he did with those Titans teams. Like those Titans teams weren't good. And he made them into decent, not contenders, but decent playoff teams. Um, We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, well, what if you had
Vrabel's
to?
like Dan Campbell a little bit.
Yeah,
He's
he
got
really is. He's like just a hard ass. Like I'm not gonna put up with any shit. Yeah, I'm a
Do
Vrabel
you
guy.
remember his quote when they went to the AFC title game and they were playing the Chiefs? He
No,
said, that was great, Mike. He said that he would cut off his nuts if they won the Super Bowl.
yeah, I want that guy leading our locker room. Yeah, and then I don't know. You obviously gonna bring your whole new staff. I kind of hope they keep Rizzy regardless. I maybe they will, maybe not. I know like guys like to bring in their own staff, but maybe get a reputable DC as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I feel sorry for the offensive coordinators. Like, is Clint Kubiak even going to come back? I doubt it. They kind of knew that last year going in with Allen. Allen was on a hot seat. And what week are we in? Week 10, 9? Allen's
Yeah,
gone.
we're
So,
heading into week 10.
yeah. So all these coordinators took a job here and knowing they could be one and done. And Clint Kubiak, I don't know if he'll get another shot, but that'll be interesting to see. What would you make of Lattimore's trade?
I like it. A guy who's been incredible his entire career at the New Orleans Saints, but had a little hamstring injury. A four-time Pro Bowler. Probably should have gotten more than that. He's a lockdown cornerback, but with his injury history It was kind of hard to see him getting a 3, and they got a 3, 4, and a 6. Very impressive with Lattimore. I like it. I mean, you're building towards the future.
Yeah, I mean the handwriting was on the wall when they drafted Kool-Aid, so you kind of knew it, and then they reworked his contract, kind of make it seem like they were going to trade him at some point in the season if the season went off the rails, and of course it did. So yeah, I think it's a good trade. I think it signals a step towards a rebuild. I was kind of surprised we weren't able to offload Chase Young, even if it was for a seventh round pick, whatever it may be. There's really no reason to keeping him, but it is what it is. Yeah, are you surprised anyone else didn't get traded? The NFL, I was actually looking at the NFL's like full trade list today. It was pretty boring. I don't know. I guess the NBA kind of has me spoiled because there's like 5 billion trades in the NBA, but the NFL there wasn't like really any big movement. I would say Marshon Lattimore was actually the biggest trade of the whole deadline, or one of the
Uh,
biggest.
I mean, do you
Is that
include
was
Adams?
Adams? Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, so top three, and not
Yeah,
three. So
Adams, Cooper.
yeah, but yeah, it's kind of boring with the trade deadline. There wasn't really much. Like, were you surprised any players didn't get traded from the Saints?
Um, I mean, who else would you trade? I mean,
Chase
Juwan
Young,
Johnson. Yeah, Chase Young. I don't think Chase Young has any value anymore.
yeah.
Um,
Now people
maybe
were floating out some crazy stuff like fourth round or sixth, like fifth round. I was like, I don't even think he even has that.
yeah.
Who's that guy for the Packers? He just got traded for a seventh round pick. So
Smith. Yeah,
yeah, so like that dude's
Preston
but
Smith.
that dude's better than Chase Young. So did you know Cam Jordan has a $20 million cap hit next year? I saw that
Dude,
stat. I
no,
was like, I was like,
Mickey,
I was like, that stat alone
bro,
should get me
Mickey's
killed on
got
the
to
spot.
go.
Yeah,
Dude, this is crimes, man. Hold on,
dude,
I'm gonna look at this. Since we're in the Saints cap hits 2025, let's see what we're working with, fellas here. Oh, buddy. Oh, Lord. Ryan Ramczyk has a $29 million cap hit, Mike.
does it even
Ryan
play?
Ramczyk, who's not playing this year. He might not play next year. He's got a $25 million cap hit. Derek Carr's got 51 million, basically 52.
And a no trade
Uh,
clause.
yeah. Cam Jordan 20, Taysom Hill 17, Eric McCoy 15, Peyton Turner 13.
He won't be on the team. They're not going to have him. No chance.
God,
They just won't
dude.
pick up his option or whatever.
Dude, this is disgusting.
Cam Jordan at 20 is the most disgusting. He only has three. I think he only has
Dude,
3 tackles this year, and we're
Ramczyk at 29. You don't even know if the dude can play anymore.
yeah. I don't know how that works with retiring guys. I don't. Does that come off the books completely? Is that just dead money? Regardless, I don't know.
Dude,
The NFL seems to have
if I'm Ramczyk, I'm trying to make a comeback just to get that money.
what play one game and then limp off the field 3 plays in.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
Dude,
that is a lot.
2027, most of these guys are free agents.
I think Lattimore carries a decent number next year too for dead money for not being on the roster. I think.
Dude, this
Yeah,
is
I can't keep up with the Saints cap gymnastics. I
oh
guess just don't
yeah,
sign
Mike, he
anyone and
does.
tank.
He does. You want to know Lattimore's dead cap next year?
Is it like 18? What is it?
It's 31. Dude,
Why is
hold on,
it?
let's do
So
this.
if you cut Carr and you cut Lattimore, that's 82. Or Lattimore's not even here. So if you just cut Carr, you're $82 million in dead cap.
Dude, you're 83. You're 83 because Carr's 51 50 and then Lattimore's 3160. I mean 600. Dude, that's $83 million. And if Ramczyk something happens to him, you're over Cam Jordan. Dude, this cap situation is atrocious, man.
Well, Cam Jordan, didn't they just extend Cam Jordan recently too? Wasn't it like a year ago or less than that?
Let's look at Cam Jordan's stats here. Let's read them out the last 2 years. I love Cam. I'm not trying to disrespect Cam because
No, it's just his
he's
his time is
all-time
gone.
Saint, all-time Saint, Hall of Fame player, 117 sacks. But he had 2 sacks last year. Oh man, he had 8.5 sacks, made the Pro Bowl 2022. He had 12 half sacks in 2021. So he had 8.5 sacks 2022. Last year, 2 sacks in 17 games. This year, 0 sacks in 9 games. He has an
Yeah,
interception now.
yeah, and he has 3 tackles, right?
He
Like
has
three or
10
four.
combined, 4 solo.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
terrible.
Mike, he has one quarterback hit. Mike,
He's the
in
best.
9 games,
Cam Jordan's
he
gonna
has
be the whatchamacallit thing on our video. What do you call it? I can't think of it. On YouTube. Whatever. Yeah, no, Cam Jordan, I hope
the
he
what?
retires. The thing on why I don't know, I'll forget about it. The I don't know why Cam Jordan won't retire.
All right. Dude, what are we doing with Mickey Loomis though?
Thumbnail,
We're
that's what
talking
I was
about
thinking
Cam
of.
Jordan. 51 million Derek Carr. Well, I'm gonna say 52. I'm rounding up. 52 Derek Carr, 29 Ramczyk, 20 Cam Jordan, and then you have Lattimore at 31 and a half.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, Michael Thomas's cap hit is 9. Jameis Winston next year is 7. Jameis would have been off the team 2 years, so did Thomas.
Wait, Jameis Winston has what, a 7 year or a $7 million cap hit?
7, yes,
He's
7.3 million.
bro, that's insane. Yeah. No, they kicked the can down the road 2 years is like too far. Like this is too much.
This is disgusting.
I think once Breeze left, they should have just been like, we're shutting
Yes,
down the spending.
yes, obviously.
I blame that on Gale. I mean, the guy, I got to give Gale praise for having, cutting Allen loose. I will say that, but this is Gale like not realizing when to cut bait because this obviously comes down from the owner. So
I'm blaming Loomis because Gail doesn't know this shit. She's being
yeah,
fed
she's
stuff.
along with
She's
yeah.
being Yeah, she's being fed. I'm not blaming Gail Benson. She's being fed stuff from Mickey Loomis that they're gonna win.
No, you're right.
This is
I agree. I
disgusting.
agree. I retract that statement. I agree. Yeah,
All
Mickey
right,
Loomis
so
should never played
so
his hand.
you ready for this? A.T. Perry's dead cap is 88,000. That's number 4 highest for next year. So the combined dead cap now that we got rid of Lattimore at 31 million. 31 plus 9 plus 1. $48 million basically combined between Lattimore, Michael Thomas, and Jameis Winston next year.
Do you keep Carr next year? I think you got to keep him no matter what. I think it's just worth it just to keep him.
I guess so.
I mean,
I mean, if you
I guess it goes by the draft, right? If you draft a lineman, obviously you keep him, but draft a quarterback, does it change things for you at all, or is it just keep him and let him sit
No,
for a year?
I hope they don't draft a quarterback. I don't like the quarterback class this year. I
You're
hope they actually screw it, cut them, cut your losses, take the dead cap, and just suck,
and
Mike.
do what, like re-sign Jameis Winston?
No, let Rattler be the quarterback next year. See what he's got. Let
Just
Rattler and Hayner battle it out. See who did it.
just
If
give
you
him the
go,
keys.
yeah, if you go 1-15, you get Arch Manning.
Yeah. Oh, wait, so you're not a Shador guy? You don't think Shador's got it?
I think Shador's good. I mean,
You think he's a
but
leader? I don't think he's a leader. That's his
I do think he's a leader actually. Dude,
you do?
Colorado's 6-2. That's not a good team. They're 6-2 ranked in the college football playoffs, and he's really good at the end of games. He holds the football way too long. He takes too many sacks. He's going to make some dumb decisions and dumb plays, but he's very accurate with the football. He does understand schemes, and I don't think he's a bad leader. I'm he. I'm trying to think of an NFL player to describe Shador, but I really can't.
Hmm.
I don't think this would be a good situation for him now. I think they should draft an offensive lineman, get young, and just suck next year and draft Arch.
Or you could trade back. If you get top 5 pick, trade
I'm
back.
okay with trading back because you need players.
Yeah, you need yeah, you need a whole team. It's like what do the Saints really need? It's like look at everything. It's like, oh, we might be kind of good here, but we're kind of old, like, but they basically need everything. So yeah, just draft their line. I mean, you got McCoy and Fuaga. Those are two pieces you can build on. I guess you keep Ruiz. What do you do with Penning? That's another thing.
I mean, you gotta keep him. Let's see what you want to know what his dead cap is, Mike. Let's
Penning?
look at it.
It can't
Let's
be a
see.
lot.
Oh, I don't even see him on here.
But
Where he
you
at?
keep Penning no matter what. Like
Oh, no, it's Pete Warner.
I guess he
Trevor
can't be a
Penning, $4
guard.
million. dollars.
He can't be a guard. You don't think there's any you don't think there's any way?
No, you got to keep him, Mike. I don't care where you put him. If he's a backup, you just gotta you gotta stay put with some of these things right now.
But what if Will Campbell's sitting there? Do you pass on that?
No, you take Will Campbell and you have um Fuaga as your other tackle, and those are your two tackles of the future.
Well, that's what I'm
And you
saying.
got
Then what do you do with Penning?
you move him. He's your next lineman up. He's an expensive backup.
Yeah. Or I wonder if he could work at guard. I wonder if that's even. I wonder if they've even tried that. Probably haven't, honestly, because they don't have any other tackles. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty. It's pretty depressing thinking about the Saints' future. But if you embrace the tank, if you just can mentally accept that we're not going to be good for the next 4 to 5 years, unless we get like a Jaden Daniels type who's like can come in here and just change everything overnight. Like, unless we get someone like that, you just gotta accept. You just gotta accept it. Just like build on the lines, and then that's where games are won. So think about when Carr was good. When Carr had his bright moments with the Saints here and there. I mean, he's had a few good games. Like what was it? What was the difference in all those games? It's just he had protection. The O line blocked, and that's when he looked good. So is Olave even going to play this year? Is Olave even part of the future as well? I mean,
Dude, Mike, I'm sorry, dude. I just can't get over these numbers. This is like bankruptcy.
no, it's paying a credit card with a credit card over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Dude,
So
this is like uh, say if you're making $50,000 a year, this is like having $50,000 in credit card debt.
it's like $75,000 in credit card debt. You got no sugar mama to help you out either. Yeah, it's pretty bleak. I don't know what to say. Travis Hunter. Would you rather have Travis Hunter or Will Campbell in the draft?
Dude, hold on. Travis Hunter. I think, well,
Where does he go? He goes top three, huh?
it might be one. Real quick though, because I'm looking at this a little bit. Cam Jordan's dead cap is actually almost 24.
Wow.
24.
Attaboy, Mickey. Money Mick. Gotta appreciate it. Yeah, I
Dude,
don't know,
Carl
man.
Granderson's 21 dead cap.
Yeah, but
Maurice would be
he
20.
just signed an extension. That he's not going anywhere.
Hold on. Hold
He's the
on.
only one worth a damn. I mean, him and
Hold
Brzee
on.
are the only two good D linemen we have.
Yeah. This is just
Those are
all
your
right.
those are your building blocks, and then Werner and Kool-Aid and I guess Taylor, and then you got no safeties really. You got Matthew, but he's kind of washed. I wouldn't say he's washed completely, but he's definitely taking a step back. He doesn't want to hit anybody anymore. He'll make a play here and there though. Yeah, they don't have any really say. I kind of like Howden, but I don't know if Howden's really that guy to be like a certified building block. So yeah, buckle up, Saints fans. I said it last year. No one believed me.
Oh, I was agreeing with you, man.
I, no, everyone was giving me shit when we were 2-0, and I was like, I'm 40% bought in, and they were like,
Yeah.
what? Just a hater, just a hater. I'm like, no. Well, Dennis Allen and Derek Carr, not very good. Yeah, I think, like I said, unless we get that Jaden Daniels type, like, unless they come in and just change everything right away, like, it's just gonna suck for the next 4 years or 3 years, whatever that is, three to 5 years. So
That's it. That's it. Call off this pod. That's it. Jesus.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we haven't hit with the Saints? Oh, let's do a little game preview coming up.
Game preview.
Yeah, we're playing Atlanta. Big game. Atlanta's 3.5-point favorites. New coach theory. Dan Rizzi shocks the world? Question mark. Hashtag Super Bowl.
Uh, they win this week and they lose the rest of the games, and I'll be okay. They finished 3-14.
No. I want to lose them all. Yeah, beating the Falcons is pretty fun. All right, 3.5. I feel like Saints plus 3.5. I like it.
Yeah. You know what? Whatever. Just they win this week, and then that's it. They're done.
All right, so you got Saints. You got Saints beating the Falcons. New coach. They're pumped up.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the over under? Like 22? It's got to be low as shit. 47.5. Oh, man. It's now down to 46.5. They bet it down. Yeah, I like the under, and I like the Saints plus 3.5. That's my pick. Anything else we didn't touch on?
You go drink after looking at this.
All right, good
Get me
deal.
off of this thing, man.
All right, if you guys can like and
I'm so
subscribe.
shocked.
Is this the last time we talk about the Saints, Corey?
Yeah, this year probably. We're gonna college football playoffs just came out, right? Dude, what else is there to talk about this team? Did we just
Oh wait, it gets better. We got the New Orleans Pelicans to talk about. Hey,
we might be talking about Jokic next week.
Milwaukee Bucks being the worst team in the league right now is keeping me through. Pels got their pick 1-4. If it's 1-4,
Hey, how about Tulane, baby? 7-2, baby. Roll wave.
how about the Cajuns? 7-1.
Lost to Tulane.
I'm editing that part out. All right. All right. If you guys
All
can
right.
like and subscribe, we appreciate it. And yeah, who dat?
How do you